Rich Trani with TMC, thanks for watching. We're at CTIA 2013 in Las Vegas. I'm speaking with Tim Lorello from Telecommunication Systems. Tim, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rich. Good to see you again.
Likewise. So what are attendees seeing here at the show?
Okay, well, we've been a company that's known for connections that matter for many years. So today's main focus of the show, though we do a lot of different things in data communications, our main focus is on securing the connections that matter. So first of all, we're going to be doing some cybersecurity training. Focus right now is a lot of, with all these IP-capable devices, M2M, all the stuff that's happening in the new LTE environments, we've got a lot of IP-connected devices that we have to think more about cybersecurity and securing these new networks. And so we're actually doing a couple sessions here, giving full-blown training later today at 1 o'clock and at I think 3:30. And then for those who aren't able to attend the session, they can come right to the booth and see our cybersecurity services where we actually give you a taste of what would a forensic specialist in cyber actually see with regards to the systems and what is it that the systems are doing, how might somebody be trying to penetrate your system, and therefore how could you be better at protecting it.
So that's really the point, is to see who's trying to penetrate and then trying to block those attacks.
Understanding how they can attack is an important part of understanding how to defend. And so fundamentally we sort of train up on both sides of that particular equation so that the customer, primarily the wireless operator, but now we're moving more and more to the enterprise because with BYOD, bring your own device, we've got this scenario where people can actually bring their IP devices from home, who knows what they've loaded on them, and people and companies are letting them use those phones to access their networks in their enterprise. And so we have an entire platform we call our Enterprise Security and Protection Plan that actually has a multifaceted way to help that enterprise understand how to protect their enterprise from cyber attacks from their own employees who might be using their phones without realizing it. So that's another part of what's going on with regards to cybersecurity. But as you know, we've been involved in data communications and secure communications for a long time. So we've actually also been providing a new focus on what we call our comprehensive enterprise solutions. And we've been adding more and more capabilities to this suite of offerings more and more for the enterprise. The most recent one that we've added is secure mobile communications. So the idea that, again, in a BYOD environment where an enterprise customer is either providing their employees with devices or allowing their employees to bring their own devices to the network, the question is how to make sure that those devices are locked down, that communications are secure, and in some cases, the person might even want to make secure messaging or voice calls to other people in the office or around the world. And so having an application on the device that allows you to provide that X level of security is also one of the components of what we call this comprehensive enterprise solutions set that we're bringing to the marketplace today.
What else should we know?
Yeah, some of the other things, we've been involved in 911. Sure. And so 911 again is moving forward with all these IP-based networks. Up to this point in time, the operators, when they've deployed LTE, they primarily were focusing on data devices, but more and more now we're able to use voice. And so the operators are starting to bring out what's called voice over LTE. The issue is they have to be able to support 911 because in the past, in order to do 911, the operator would drop you back to a 3G environment and let the 911 call progress. But more and more they're trying to free up those spectrums and also be able to deploy in places where there's LTE only. Well, now 911 won't work in that environment, and so you have to use a voice over LTE solution. So we've just announced a voice over LTE 911 solution. We've deployed it with some of the operators, the largest operators in the country, and we're making that available, basically worldwide. The other thing that's interesting is the FCC just yesterday put out a major mandate for the operators to be able to support text to 911. And so when you think of IP and you think of next generation 911, the point is that these public safety answering points who are taking your calls are also now going to be able to take data into their centers as well, using what's called next generation 911, and we've been deploying that kind of infrastructure. But the operators have to do something in order to send the data to the public safety answering points. And for us, the first entry, just like text messaging was the first entry of data into wireless, text messaging is the first entry of data into the public safety answering point. We've been the pioneers on SMS to 911. We're deployed nationwide with Verizon, and we're deploying with other carriers now nationwide as well, so that now a person in trouble can use text as a way to get to 911 as well. The FCC has mandated that they have to, every operator by September 30th, I believe, of this year, has to be able to provide a bounce back message telling the person who's trying to text to 911 if that message is actually going to an operator where they'll hear something back, or if it's not, that it's not available in their jurisdiction and needs to be rolled out by the public safety answering point as they move forward.
So I use an app called Waze, like millions of other people in the US, and one of the things it lets you do is it lets you tell others when there's an accident. And to date, I've probably notified two or three times I've notified Waze users of an accident, and then a few times I've called 911 as well. Curious question I have is that, shouldn't there be some integration between the apps that everyone's using as well and the Peace apps?
Yeah, well, we're working on that. I mean, honestly, the public safety answering points have probably had to deal with more changes in technology than any other spot in the marketplace, where their focus has always been to protect lives. They're used to receiving calls, and now all this other new technology is hitting them. So what we've been doing is providing them the ability through what we call our GEM client, our Geospatial Emergency Messaging client, that allows them to receive just basically on a browser. If they have a browser, it's a cloud-based, effectively, solution. So if they have a browser, they're able to access all this other kind of data that you're talking about. So for example, if you actually took a video or a picture of the accident scene, being able to get that to public safety is closer than you think, and we're getting closer and closer to making those steps possible, where these fantastic applications we have on the devices can actually deliver other kind of communications.
Thanks, Tim.
Now, there is one other thing though. You mentioned navigation, and we are a navigation specialist, and we got a cute little car in here, a little Fiat, that's got some what's called hybrid navigation. And what this means is we're moving more and more to the phone becoming the hub for what's going on. So instead of having a navigation kit in the car, you actually have the phone provide the navigation, and then the car has a display that allows you to see it. And so we can show you in a little bit here the ability to actually see your nav app projected on the car screen, and you got your navigation wherever you go anymore.
Fantastic, thanks a lot, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Rich, it's always good talking to you.